Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today, there's going to be a pair of wide receivers looking to make big plays on the field. It's Bryant's Cowboys going up against Beckham's Giants. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Hello, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. As we get set here, Charles, we talk about wide receivers. You know, Larry mentioned it in the open, but that's a big spot to look at here in this one.
I think he identified it perfectly because these guys have such an impact on the game nowadays because they throw the ball more than ever. And whether they're throwing it short, medium, or long, can they snatch it out of the air and create even extra yardage with run after catch?
The Giants' new kicker for 2017, Aldrick Rosas, will get us started as off we go from MetLife Stadium. This is fielded a couple yards deep. The Dallas Cowboys got a big win last week, 38-14 all over Washington. Dak Prescott, you see him as he leads the offense out. And what was weird for Dak and company, they played in back-to-back Thursday games because they had the Thanksgiving game, and then they turned around the following week on Thursday.
That is a bit of an oddity, isn't it? But how great is it that it's back-to-back Thursdays, and it's a Thursday where you're not coming off of a short week.
Right.
Right? They actually got the full week just like it was a Sunday-to-Sunday game. But the Cowboys finally got some points on the board, right? They put 38 on Washington. They'd scored less than 10 points in each of the previous 3 games. And think about it this way. Dak's first win without Ezekiel Elliott, which is very good for his confidence. And a tip of the cap, Darren McFadden announced his retirement from the NFL.
This is Morris. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Charles, speaking of Alfred Morris, how about him last week? He got the band back together again, over 100 yards for the first time since 2015.
Do you think that it's really a coincidence?
What, that it was against his former team? Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he put big numbers on. Had 125 yards on the ground. First time he'd gone over 100 since 2015, as you noted. And the second player in the history of the Washington-Dallas rivalry to run for over 100 yards for each of the 2 teams. Do you remember who did it before?
I know because you told me, Dwayne Thomas.
Exactly, who coined the great phrase in Super Bowl history. If it's the ultimate game, why do they play it every year?
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They run again with Morris. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Prescott from the gun. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Devon Kennard with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Well, they only had a yard to go. They try to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies, and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot. They dialed up the pressure and got to him.
Now the 7th-year man, Chris Jones, on to kick. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Well, it's been a whirlwind couple of weeks for Eli Manning and the New York Giants, but here is Manning bringing the offense onto the field for this contest.
Whirlwind couple of weeks. You nailed that one because it goes from Eli Manning losing his job, the Giants trying to take a look at other quarterbacks to see what they're going to do in the future. Head coach Ben McAdoo, who made that decision, lost his job, and now Eli Manning back as the starting quarterback for the New York Giants, and I don't think he's the only one happy about it. I think there's a whole fan base excited to see number 10 back under center.
Yeah, but his streak stopped at 210 consecutive games started. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. DeMarcus Lawrence coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That'll be a gain of 16, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Working from the gun, Manning. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
The 4th-year man from LSU, Brad Wing, to punt it away. Standing right on his own 5-yard line. It's taken to the 26. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back near the 34-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3-and-out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
A first down throw for Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And we look now at the defense for the Giants.
So many people at Landon Collins scouted as a guy who was excellent in run support and would struggle in pass coverage, especially in the back end of the defense. But in 2016, he made a massive jump as a safety, able to drop in the box, cover deep, and make plays on the football. In fact, I talked with his coach in the offseason, and he told me he's about 65 to 70% of reaching his potential.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out.
Dez Bryant with nothing but green grass ahead of him. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dez Bryant, 59 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. Pushes past him. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On the run, Darkwa. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
They'll run again now with Darquan. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Here's Darquan. And some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down. And now the defense for Dallas.
I think most people locked in on Byron Jones when he came out of UConn at the NFL Combine, where he darn near jumped out of the stadium because of his vertical leap. But there's so much more to his game than that. Played cornerback and safety in college, and they can use that same ability to move him around in the NFL in order to create great matchups on defense for Dallas.
Third down and 5. Shotgun now for Manning. And Ingram holds it in. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't he?
Yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran taken with the defensive given.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now Darquan. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Now Manning on the bootleg. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Perkins. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 9 yards on the play and a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. First carry now for Paul Perkins. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
on any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll run with Darquan and give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing is Manning. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. On 4th down, off goes Manning, and on comes the Giants kicker, Aldrick Rosas, for the field goal try. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And Rosas puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start it on the ground with Morris. Space to maneuver at the 40. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Morris. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. To throw is Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Now it's Morris. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Second down, 8. Prescott now, option right. And he's got some space here. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 1 quarter in the books. The Cowboys out in front early. Back to MetLife Stadium in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports. Fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Red zone opportunity. Here's Morris. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Alfred Morris taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And there, the counter play proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counter play in general successful, Charles?
Well, what you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team moving in one direction, meaning the defense. Get them going in one direction and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them. And if you have any kind of a good back, he'll take full advantage of it and gain good yardage.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Bailey now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And our players spotlight now as we turn our attention to Eli Manning. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Now a handoff here to his running back. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. Second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Manning. And that's complete to Lewis. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Going to give this time to the tailback. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Perkins on first down. Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Now they'll throw it with Manning. And Rudolph has it left side. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with a flag. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Manning. And this is going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
On 4th down, off goes Manning, and on comes the Giants kicker, Aldrich Rosas, for the field goal try. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And the kick by Rosas is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And our focus shifts here to Alfred Morris. So he'll be looking to get in the end zone again. Had the touchdown, as you see, last drive on 4 carries. And during the break, we were looking at some of the replays from the previous drive. Really good holes created, great space.
Yeah, I like the observation you had, though, during that break about, okay, they've got to do something to slow down their runners. So is it bringing in more defensive linemen? Is it dropping in extra linebackers? What are you going to do? Personally, I'm going to take my safety and drop him into the box. I'm going to have at least 7 in there until he shows that he can beat me through the air. Yeah. I've got to slow down the running game.
I was just going to say, you'll take the exposure in the passing game over the top until you can prove that you can stop the running game.
Sometimes you go cold because you haven't thrown it in a while. Let's see if he can heat up again.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Play action now, Prescott. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Offense.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taking it about the 16. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. They go play action here on first down. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. A very solid gain of 27.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. A dump off to Vereen. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. They begin the drive with Morris. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Second down, Prescott. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd down. The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He completes it to Bryant. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They run with Morris. Touchdown, Cowboys! Alfred Morris with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, able to avoid him. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Giants on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun. Manning. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Brad Wing now. standing just outside his own goal line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Getting ready to go again here, Alfred Morris trots back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. Here's a handoff to begin the drive to Morris. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. To go here in the 1st half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. Just 2 minutes time. Don't forget, we'll get you to Orlando for our halftime report. To bring it to you, who else but Larry Ridley?
Now that man knows his football. Go get him, Larry.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it here with Smith. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Now a handoff here to his running back. Able to break the tackle and get some breathing room before being brought down just outside the 5. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, They gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Manning now on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Second down, here's Manning. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Room here to run. Prescott looks to throw on first. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. While we've got a moment here, Frank Gore moved up 2 spots in his game Sunday against Jacksonville this last week, Charles. He's now top 5 rushers all time in the NFL.
That's absolutely amazing when you think about it. The longevity of a career, the production of a career. And now you start, I don't care who you are, you start thinking legacy, right? And think about who he moved past. He moved past Jerome Bettis, Hall of Famer, LaDainian Tomlinson, Hall of Famer. If you're Frank Gore, you're thinking your credentials are going to be up for the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Start measuring for that jacket. He's at 13,697 yards. And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. The offense on third down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Prescott to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Third down at the 41. Prescott going to connect here with big number 88, Des Bryant. And he's going to go 59 yards for the score as they get out to a 7-0 lead. Now 1st and 10. Morris is looking for room to run, and he'll go for the score. Cowboys go up by 11. Cowboys on offense midway through the second. Prescott's on target here, and he'll end up at the 30-yard line before being tackled. Same drive. Morris is going to look for space, and a quick 3-play drive ends with a score. Cowboys go up by 15.
All right, Larry, indeed a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half 2. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is
do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. And when you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
Manning to throw on second down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play. And now a first down following that long gain. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. And he'll give it here to his running back. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. From the gun, Manning firing quickly here, and that's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They go counter. Perkins. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
First and goal here from the 2. They'll let the shorter back Perkins run it. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, Manning. And this is going to be incomplete.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. On fourth down, off goes Manning, and on comes the Giants kicker, Aldrich Rosas, for the field goal try. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And Rosas puts this one through, and that will close the gap down to 14. So his third field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into sixes.
And sevens, and probably even eights. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
7 yards to go on second down. Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Prescott from the gun on third, and that is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And a give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
3 yards to go here on 2nd down. Manning going to give it to Perkins. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Working from the gun, Manning. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. 5th catch of the game for him there. Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. Perkins on the give from Manning. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Three yards remaining here on 2nd down. Now a handoff as they run left side. And now running right through it. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. From the gun, Manning. His throw incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. The Giants on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Manning. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a 4th down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, pass the sticks, 1st down. On 4th down, off goes Manning, and on comes the Giants kicker, Aldrich Rosas, for the field goal try. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And that's off the left upright, but it caroms right in. How about that? The kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So put 3 on the board. A little bit of a hook on the driver that time. Looked a little bit like you, Charles, over on the 8th at Windermere.
You know me too well, partner. Except that he got his to hit a tree and kick back into the fairway.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And our focus shifts here to Alfred Morris. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll toss it to Morris. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
2nd down following the run. Prescott from the gun. And some room to maneuver. A gain of 4 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. The offense on 3rd down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Throwing, Prescott. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Now they try the right side here. And he cuts right sideline and some room to go. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. And to give this time to the tailback. Finding room inside the 40. And he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. Fresh set of downs here. From the gun, Manning. A dump off to the flat for Perkins. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Now Manning throwing on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's King. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On first down, Manning. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was a type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
So second and 10 here. To throw again, Manning. That is caught at the 7. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
So now it's 1st and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
On 2nd down, Perkins. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Paul Perkins, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Shotgun now for Manning. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points that gets them back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Rosas now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. And I think he was able to get back on it. He was. So they will get the ball after all, but that could have been a disaster. Getting ready to go again here, Alfred Morris trots back onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Prescott on 1st down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On 3rd down, it's Morris. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him for a loss of 5. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
Need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Prescott. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. It's a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. The Giants' offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to float this one. He's got a man complete. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 2nd down here after the incomplete pass. Throwing again. Manning. And that'll be incomplete. Orleans Darkwa, the intended target. And it'll bring up 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Again, they'll throw with Manning. Over the middle, complete. That's King. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Manning now on first down. Caught right side. It's Lewis. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Orleans Darkwa, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the G-men have taken the lead here in the 4th. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote onto your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Rosas now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On first and 10, Prescott. And he's got room. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it second down. Prescott now on second down. And some room to roam now. And avoids the contact by sliding. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Alfred Morris that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. Second down now after the incompletion. Here's Prescott. And some space here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Second down, Prescott. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
False start, offense.
That's on the Pro Bowl guard from Notre Dame, Zach Martin. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Prescott now from the 50. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And that is incomplete. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So the failure to convert no doubt really hurts, but this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help in big ways. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense. From midfield, here's Manning. He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. They run a draw here on second down. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. So it'll be first down here after the run. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 25. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. As they run the counter play. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a fourth down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And the kick by Rosas is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization, because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talent. You think that they have that something special in them that will allow them to function in these types of situations. Now it's time for them to be clinical and not emotional. You know your play sequence. You know what has to get done. Get the ball to the right people, get out of bounds, and get it downfield and try and score.
Yeah, he's trying to earn his stripes here for a winning drive. They'll look to throw. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big play for the Cowboys on third. 43 yards. And they'll get up and spike it right at 40 seconds to go. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Back to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Back to throw. His pass caught at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's third and goal. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
He'll look to throw. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Yes, sir, that touchdown puts them in striking distance. And let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it. Go for 2.
Wow, going for it on the road. Want to win it right now.
Want to win it right now. Have the momentum. Go ahead and get it done.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And now a critical extra point attempt here. And we may very well be headed to overtime. That time a 6-play drive, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now Manning. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. And they're not able to complete it. Now just 6 seconds remain. Time for one, maybe 2 more plays. And on 2nd and 10 now. To throw is Manning. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Incomplete pass there is probably the best scenario going, because if he catches the football, clock's probably going to run out in that situation.
So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. They'll run. It's Vereen. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. A little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. New York set to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And it'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Not a bad idea to start overtime. Feed the hot hand.
And understand that when you're feeding that hot hand, everyone else is pretty much in agreement on it. You know, a team looks at their game and says, all right, who's playing really well? Let them touch the football, and we'll do our job to help him along.
So this brings up a 2nd and 2. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Just looking down at this with a naked eye, looks like they have about 1.5 yards. Any chance they go for it here?
There's a chance, but I have to say, punt the ball here. Get rid of this thing and try and help your defense a little bit. I know there's that temptation, and I know people have it on their play sheet. I have that one play that'll get me what I need, but if you don't get it, you pretty much handed the game to the other team.
The punter wing is on as he sends this one away. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done. Now part 2. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here comes the first throw in OT for Prescott. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
They go play action here on 1st down. And some room to work. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Now a toss play. It's Morris. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Tried to get the edge there. The defense just too quick to the ball.
That's what we call total team defense there. Can't get to the edge. No place to move it inside, and then allows everyone else to run to the ball and create a big-time tackle for no gain for the offense.
On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Look, the 1st down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
3rd and short yardage, Prescott. And that's caught by Beasley. Touchdown, Cowboys. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.